Willkommen. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Sean Huggins and this is React with Hugs. And today we have a very fun video planned. Check this out. This is what an American thinks about German beer drinking culture. Ooh. This is from Matt Suozo. Check him out. Linked in the description as always. And I'm curious what Matt has to say about it. Obviously, I have my own thoughts, but I'm going to let Matt do the talking first, and then I will say if I agree or not. And of course, you guys are encouraged to chime in as well in the comment section. Leave your mustard down there. Let me know what you think, and let's just hop straight into it and see what an American thinks about German beer drinking culture. Los geht's.
Hello. Action.
Yummy. Oh man, one of the best parts of German beer drinking culture is just the fact that you can do it legally in public. Like you could go to a nice park and just have a casual beer, and that's something that you can't do in almost anywhere in America, which is ridiculous. Like, dude, you want to be outside and you want to go to a nice park or, you know, like a Marktplatz. We don't really have that in America either, but if we did, you can't do that, and it's crazy to me to think about. But ooh.
Go for a nice walk in the park with a delicious beer.
Yeah. Nice.
So one of the first things I've noticed with German drinking culture is you can drink absolutely everywhere, including outdoors in the park. That's fantastic. But that also includes the street. I've also seen people drinking on the train. I'm not really sure if that's allowed, but people do it. Another thing I've noticed is it's not just acceptable to drink outside, but also in the workplace. Maybe not necessarily during work hours, but it's not uncommon that I've seen coworkers going out after work or maybe in the office still, but after work to drink a beer.
Okay.
You'll open up an office refrigerator and you might find beer in there. That's not a big deal. And actually the co-working space I have, it's the same deal. Another thing I've noticed in this country, which is not going to seem odd to any of my German viewers, but trust me, it's a thing in the US. I have not been ID'd here once to buy beer.
Yeah. In a lot of places in America, it's the law that you have to ID everybody, even if it's a 90-year-old man, and clearly you can just tell by looking at them that they are older than the legal drinking age. Some places in America, you have to ID everybody, or at least you're supposed to. That doesn't mean they actually always do, but you're supposed to in some places. But yeah, IDing people is a very big thing in America for sure.
Mid-30s, and yes, I still get ID'd back in the United States to get a beer. Even buying non-alcoholic beer, you still get ID'd. And sometimes they say it's their policy up to until you look like you're 60, basically, to ID you, because we have such strict underage drinking laws.
Yeah.
Well, the drinking age here in Germany is 16 for beer and wine, and 18 for hard liquor. So it's never really much of an issue. To my German viewers, do you ever actually get ID'd even when you're younger to buy a beer, wine, or liquor?
That is a good question. I would love to hear what you guys say in the comments. Do you actually have to show your ID when buying beer or liquor? I'm curious because I can't remember having to show my ID in Germany. If I remember correct, I can't remember any time that I've had to show my ID. Then again, maybe that just says how old I look, but I'm curious what you guys have to say about it. Do you guys have to get ID'd? I don't know.
Is that really more of something they're supposed to do, but no one actually does? Let me know in the comments below. Another thing is a little different out here. Most of the beer is sold in bottles. In the US, it's kind of more of like a 50-50 split between cans and bottles. But the cool thing about these bottles is they are not recycled. Instead, they are returned and reused and refilled. So literally this will go back into a plastic crate and it'll shipped right back to the brewer, and they're gonna wash it, clean it, relabel it, and refill it with beer and put it back on the shelves. What a fantastic concept. Because recycling is super energy intensive. Just reusing it is actually what we used to do in the US a long time ago, closer to the turn of the century. But that kind of got phased out. The other difference is these bottles are much
all about
thicker
the
and
money.
heavier, so they're less likely to break, although the only downside of this is I do see way more broken glass in parks, streets than I do in the States. Because in the States there's just a lot less glass, and again,
mostly
drinking
cans
outside and drinking in public is
not glasses, so
not allowed. Oh, another thing, to make sure people actually return these, the fland or the deposit is a little bit higher. In the States, it's usually like 5 to 10 cents, sometimes up to 15. Here, I've seen it anywhere between 8 cents and 25 cents.
yeah, the fund in Germany definitely pays a lot more than recycling stuff in America, which is a big contributor to why so many people don't recycle in America, but also because it's not nearly as convenient, because we don't have these bad boys right here in all of our grocery stores to conveniently go to a public place, a grocery store, a place that we're going to go anyways, and, you know, put all of our bottles in there and then get a decent amount of money back. No, we have to go to separate places on the outskirts of towns and cities, which also exists, I know, in Germany, but we don't even have the option for stuff like this. We have to go to these like places on the outskirts of town, and then like where you might get 25 cents for, you know, certain bottles or cans in Germany, we would get like 5 cents for them. So it's, you know, you do all this extra effort and you get paid way less for that extra effort. So it's just a flawed system all over the place in America compared to Germany, for sure.
Another thing I love about German beer culture is the attention to detail. What I mean by that is every time I go out to a restaurant or a bar, they serve that beer in the correct glass supplied to them by the manufacturer. It's never just in a random glass, unlabeled glass.
Okay.
Now in the States, pretty much all beer is just served in a generic pint glass. The only place I've seen that does that here is a microbrewery, actually, and obviously they don't have their own glassware because they're constantly making new beers and new things, and it wouldn't really make sense to make a glass just for a beer that you only have on tap for maybe a month or two. Speaking about microbreweries, that's one thing that Germany's kind of lagging behind on, and I think I know why. So in the United States, we had prohibition between, it was like the mid-20s and it was the mid-30s. It was like a decade. During that time, we lost a lot of talent. We forgot how to grow the hops. We forgot how to make the barley. We forgot how to malt it, brew it correctly, distribute it, the whole 9 yards. So when Prohibition ended, there was really only a few breweries left in the States. Now in Germany, they never had Prohibition. But I mean, this brewery in particular has been around since 1328. Because of this dominance, these guys have been around forever. There's not really a lot of room for smaller players to enter the market. And what I mean by that is you can get this really good beer for very cheap. And it's not just this beer. I mean, every beer you can get here for like €1 is delicious. Yeah. So, getting to the flip side of this.
Now I'm thirsty.
Every town or big city in the area has their own brewery. So when I was up in Regensburg, there was a brewery up there. All the restaurants and bars in the area serve that one beer. In Munich, there are a bunch of breweries, and every restaurant serves a different kind of beer. So this is kind of how it used to be in the States. Sometimes it was even every bar would brew their own beer. And here they still have that.
That's a lot.
You go to a town, they have the brewery, all the restaurants in that area serve that one beer, which is pretty cool. So while Germany might not have a ton of microbreweries, they have a ton of small and medium-sized breweries, which is really, really awesome.
And that's actually way more convenient because you can buy all these beers in like Rewe or like just normal grocery stores. And when you're in America and you have a microbrewery, a lot of the times it's hard for them to get into the big name grocery stores to actually get their cans or their bottles on the shelves. So you have to like go directly to the microbrewery and pick up your case of beer or whatever. And it's also probably more expensive than the alternatives. So it's, again, not an ideal situation at all, for sure.
All right, now it is time to talk about the dark side of German brewing.
Ooh, here we go.
My German viewers, you might know what I'm talking about. But to my American viewers, you will be shocked.
Let's see.
Over here, they have very interesting drinks. Some of them, they mix beer with cola, and they call that a beverage. Yes, I am judging. No, I have not tried it. Yes, I will try it at some point.
I have not tried a is that Kohleweisen? Have not tried it yet. Also, not tried a Rattler, but I have tried a Banana Weissen, which is probably the weirdest of the three that I just mentioned. But I tried that one because I saw it and I heard of it, and I was like, you know what? Just give it to me. Let me try it. And I would say that I didn't hate it, but it was so sweet, and it was just not. I would just rather a normal beer for sure. So I'm glad that I did it. I didn't hate it, but I don't think that I would get it again just because I'll just prefer the normal beer. But I think that I would like to try a Rattler and a Kohleweisen. Kohleweisen? Yeah, I think I would like to try them, but I imagine that I wouldn't probably like them because I don't really like the sweet drinks like that too much. I probably would prefer the normal beer. But I would still try it for sure, at least once. I'm the kind of person, I'll try anything once, you know?
All right, guys, so that's 10 things I've learned about German drinking culture.
Wow, that was 10
at least
things?
the culture here in Munich.
That was fast.
That I found interesting since arriving from the US. Is there something I missed? Let me know in the comments below.
Wow, thank you for the video, Matt. A very good video. Definitely a very good video. Let me think. Is there anything that he missed that I can think of? Yeah, I don't know. I think that America has a bad reputation because the popular American beers are pretty basic. Like, they are known for being Pipiwasser. But we have a lot of these microbreweries, which is like a restaurant or a brewery in a small town, and they make their own beer, and we have probably tens of thousands of these all over America, and those places make very good beer, and it's very good, but it's a little bit more expensive than the normal beer, but it's very good, and I don't think that people really pay attention to that because it's not the mainstream beers, and it's not what America is known for, which is like the Pipiwasser normal, like 5 different brands that are like Bud Light, Budweiser, like whatever, like all those ones. Of course, there are other better, tastier, and more pure beer options in America, but I don't think that a lot of people from outside of America know that, but I'm not sure. Anyways, I'm curious what you guys, the experts, have to say about it. What do you think? What are the differences between beer culture in America and Germany? Did we forget anything? Let me know your thoughts. Leave your mustard down in the comment section below. That's all the time that I have for today, though. So thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.